Guys, our guest for today is, I can say, one of the pillars of me as a brand of, my business. I remember before, and he doesn't know about this. This is the first time I'm going to tell him this. Before like way, way back about Instagram, a social media platform, I was like watching him and understanding the algorithm and everything. So fast forward, he is now a guest in the show. It's a blessing. I'm a fanboy. Our guest for today, guys, is an international Instagram marketer, YouTube and agency owner. Wow. See? And he is the go-to. He is the go-to person if you want to grow your brand on Instagram. Wow. This is amazing. An amazing experience, guys. I'm not done yet. He is also the owner. He's also this will blow your minds for everyone listening and watching. Our guest for today is the owner of Millionaire.Dream with a massive 800 plus, all right? 800 plus followers on Instagram. Wow. Let's all welcome our very special guest, very humble, with all the confusion on the dates and the time. I never see him complain. He's always with a smile, very accommodating. Let's all welcome in the show, Josh Ryan. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, man. That's probably the best intro I've ever had to a podcast. That's awesome. And glad you've enjoyed the content for so long. It's always great when people get something out of it and it helps their business. So yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Josh, I've said this off cam and I'll say it again. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, that is true. Before I start, in the early stage of my brand, before I start my business, my agency, the podcast, I was watching your content. I don't know about you. I mean, it just popped out. And then I was looking for, algorithm and understanding the platform. Your content was there. And I was like, wow, he really makes sense. And I followed you. I saved that clip. And I was like, one day I will have the opportunity to talk, one-on-one with this person. But, lo and behold, you're in the show. So guys, this is me being a fanboy.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. All right, man. I know your backstory. I know who you are as a brand, but for all the listeners and viewers out there, we're excited to have an overview. Who or what influenced you to be in that position of greatness that you are right now? The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man. So going back well before I started on social media, I grew up in a pretty small town in New Zealand, and we didn't have lots of extra money. But my parents always encouraged me, like, if you want something, you can find a way to make it happen. And always encourage me to go out and chase after things and work hard and work smart and so on. And so I first started my first side hustle when I was 9 years old, because I told my parents that, hey,
9 years old, bro. 9 years old.
Yeah. Because I told my dad that, one day I was obsessed with FC Barcelona, the football team, and Leo Messi, best player ever. And I told my dad that, hey, I wanted to one day go and watch it. And instead of saying no, because we couldn't afford it, he was sort of like, you can, but you have to find a way to make it happen. And so I went and brainstormed all these ideas, rung up Coca-Cola 3 times a day for about 2 months until they finally got sick of me, sent me a vending machine. And that was my first side hustle for a couple of years. And then we moved out of that tiny little town, a place called Golden Bay. Moved to somewhere a bit bigger, found out about Wi-Fi. And then at about 14, I just started creating an Instagram account. I'd seen lots of people talk about dream boards, vision boards. And so I sort of did that on Instagram, where I post out motivational quotes, cool cars, cool, vision board sort of stuff, but on Instagram. Didn't think much of it. And then about a month into it, I messaged a guy who many people probably know now. His username is millionaire_mentor. He's got about 7 or 8 million followers. Yeah. But at the time, he had about 200K. And I was like, hey, could you just promote my account to help me grow? Could you just post an image and, mention me in the caption? This was 2015 actually. And he's like, yeah, sure, but it'll be like $50. And
Ooh.
I was just like blown away. I was like, these guys are getting paid to make posts on social media,
Right.
which is probably not that unusual now. Like people
Yeah.
probably know about that. The average everyday person understands it. But
Mm.
2015, no one knew that.
Yeah.
And so I was just so intrigued. And so from that point on, I pretty much just spent a ton of time learning about social media marketing, learning about like how to build an audience, like how do you make money,
Mm.
how do you build a following. And so I just built up that account that I had and tried a ton of things. I started new pages that I grew. I did a bit of
Mm.
affiliate marketing. I did a bit of drop shipping, pretty much all of those things. I tested everything. And that was probably good and bad because I probably
Right.
shifted my attention to too many things. And
Mm.
then as I finished high school, which was the end of 2017, I decided instead of going to uni, I'd give myself a year to like try and make this online business thing work. And I figured worst case scenario, I do a year, does nothing. I go to college a year later than everyone else my age, which is no risk whatsoever. So there was no risk there. And it went pretty well. I decided to just dedicate myself to an agency, working with
Wow.
clients, and keep growing my page as well. And so yeah, that within about 3 or 4
Wow.
months was doing pretty well. And nowadays I just run the agency, working with a few clients, have a
Mm.
few Instagram pages myself,
Mm.
and yeah, create content on YouTube, teaching people everything I
Wow.
know about Instagram, digital marketing, and yeah.
Love that. Love that, man. I mean, at a young age, you are already there playing the game. 9 years old.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Josh, you mentioned about, creating money and, making an income out of creative content, social media, understanding that there is a way to generate income on those platforms, specifically Instagram, YouTube. That gives away the topic that is, how to make money on social media. Because, I'm excited. Me, myself is excited. I know our listeners and viewers are already excited because of the push of monetization on, Instagram Reels, on Shorts, even though there's a lot of people, creators saying that they're earning less. It's understandable because it's on the beta stage. But people now are being given the opportunity to earn money, right? From
Yeah.
content that they produce and release on those social media platforms from an expert like you, my friend. Please give us your wisdom, give us your learnings and expertise on how to make money on social media. The floor is yours, Josh.
Yeah, so I would say first and foremost, don't rely on like in-platform monetization. So don't rely on YouTube AdSense or Instagram Reels bonuses, or even if Instagram might start paying you for like your IGTV views, like don't rely on that because A, you could get removed from the program any day and you got nothing you can do about that. B, you might stay in there, but they might like YouTube could drop their ad rates in half or in like, make it a quarter of what it is. And overnight you're losing a ton of money. So I would treat that as like a bonus, as like which it literally is called a Reels bonus or a whatever bonus. Yeah, so I would have that as a bonus and then focus on creating something that's of value to your audience, either creating or partnering with someone who has created as like an affiliate marketing, like promoting someone else's product to give you something more predictable. Because at the end of the day, if you can create content on a platform around, I don't know, gardening, and then you partner with a gardening products company and you promote their, I don't know, fertilizers and their gardening tools and so on, you can get a pretty predictable, sustainable income from that. And then you treat the Reels bonuses, your YouTube AdSense is just extra money on top. So it's always just about understanding like who your audience is and how you can create or source a product that is going to be of value to those people. And that's how you're going to build a predictable revenue
Wow.
from social media.
Love that. Love that, Josh. I love the mindset that you shared, that as a creator, as an entrepreneur, as a brand, yes, monetization is a good thing, but don't focus on it, right? It should be like a bonus, an add-on to a bigger project. Um,
Yeah.
what is your giveaway, your tip for startups, startup brands, startup content creators that are jumping on with the desire to, be a full-time content creator now that there's a lot of opportunities to earn on social media?
I guess like it's probably different. Are you like when you say startup creators, are you meaning like people that are just starting, or like as in
Yes,
like a startup company?
like fresh.
Yeah.
This is the first jump on social media.
I would say the first thing is like go for a specific niche. Like you don't want to go like for like a lifestyle influencer, for example. It's going to be pretty tricky because it's hard to build an audience in that because you're sort of appealing to everyone. It's also hard to monetize being like a lifestyle influencer unless you're massive, because like you're probably not going to have like a really niche audience. So I would say go for a specific niche. Like maybe you create content about fitness or about art or about interior design. Like it could be anything, but just make it specific, so you can build an audience there. That's probably the first thing. Go for something that you are a part of, like the niche. So pick, like if you absolutely love the gym, you can create content about it. You can show people, whether you're an expert that's like been doing it for 10 years and you're teaching people, or maybe you're a complete beginner and you're just on your fitness journey and you're going to document that on social media. So do something that you're like interested in, that you're passionate about, because then you're going to do it for longer than the person who's just doing it to make an income, which will usually mean you'll build a bigger audience and make a bigger income in the long term. And I would say the third thing is probably adapt to the most engaging format of content at the time. So like when I started on Instagram, it was only images. And so you just posted images. And then like then they brought videos out, like 15-second videos, and that was good, but I still think images were still best. Nowadays, like short form reels, TikToks, like that's the most engaging format of content you can possibly create. And it's not to say that that's the only format you could create, but if you're a beginner, it's easier to create an engaging reel than it is to create an engaging image, just because that format is naturally more engaging. So you're just making it easier by making those decisions on what content to create. So it's probably the three main things.
Love that, Josh. Love that, Josh. Guys, get this clip, save it, because this can transform your life. A follow-up, bro. A follow-up. This is coming from me because I'm excited. Where do you think, all right, this is just, an add-on from a fan. Where do you think, not only Instagram, but you can start with Instagram, so since you are expert in that specific platform, where do you think Instagram and the rest of the social media platforms will be going maybe 3 to 5 years from now?
I find it hard to predict that far ahead because like it'll probably be a new format of content that'll be taking over by then. I can't say what it would be. Like 3 to 5 years ago, no one would have predicted that there's going to be like TikToks are going to be big. I remember people literally, myself included, thought Musical.ly was ridiculous. And so like when that came out, like no one was on there because everyone's like, who would ever enjoy or consume 15-second clips to music? Like that was just seen as a ridiculous idea. And now it's like the main format of content. So I think it's tricky to predict where it'll be in 3 to 5 years. I assume like that the one thing you can pretty much say is that these platforms will just continue adapting to whatever is getting the most attention. Just like Instagram, like they started out with images and then they saw that stories were really cool from Snapchat and everyone loved it. So they brought stories into the platform. And then they saw TikToks were doing really well. So they brought that in. And that's what I do really like about Instagram against other platforms, is their ability to evolve. Now they've definitely got their negatives for sure, but like Instagram sees stories are doing really well on Snapchat, they pull it and put it into their platform. They see reels are doing really good, they pull it into, TikTok's really doing really good, they bring it into Instagram. And so you can get everything from Instagram. You can post reels to get a lot of reach, you can post stories to show the day-to-day life, you can post highly edited photos, you can DM your audience, like you can do everything there. But I don't think anyone can say what will happen in 3 to 5 years with social media. Like
exactly. Yeah. Well, that's knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb, Josh. Thank you so much, guys. There you go. Like learnings, mindset, and quick and easy direct tips from the expert himself. But we're not done yet, Josh. We are in this part of the show that we will play a game. All right. This is a tradition here. We call it the creative fast talk, where I will ask you questions and you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer would be. First word that comes into your mind, shoot. All right.
All right.
All right. Question number one, Josh. Sun or snow?
Sun.
Structure or chaotic?
Structure.
If you were an animal, Josh, what animal would you be and why?
I don't know. I've had a few people say shark, and I think I kind of like that. But like,
Okay.
just like quiet, does its own thing, but don't mess with it.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Popcorn and movies or dinner and dancing?
It's tricky. It's probably a bit of both. I probably do dinner and dancing more, but still enjoy a good movie and popcorn.
Love that. All right. All right. Because you mentioned that you love movies also and a bit of dinner and dancing, let's switch the question. What is your top three best movies of all time?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I really like The Gentleman
Mm,
with Matthew McConaughey.
yeah, yeah.
Great movie there. A bit on the spot. I don't really have like a list of, of favorite movies, to be honest.
No
I
worries.
enjoy
No worries.
either that sort of gangster movie
Mm,
or really dumb comedy movies, usually, is my sort of, yeah,
all right.
two
All right.
genres.
So you also mentioned that you love dinner and dancing. So let's go to the dinner part, food. What is the weirdest food you've tried so far?
I don't think I've actually been too exotic with my food choices so far. I've had stingray. That's probably
Oh,
the
wow.
weirdest food that I've had.
Okay.
Um,
How was it?
yeah, I can't think of. It was quite good. Yeah,
Mm.
I enjoyed it.
All right. All right. Next, mountains or the beaches?
I have to say both again. I've grown up at the beaches, so probably lean more towards beaches, but I love the mountain,
All right.
love the
All
climb,
right.
love the view, love all of
Because I'm a fanboy, we love you. Accepted. what what is something that is always inside your bag, Josh, when you were a kid?
As a kid,
Yeah.
probably some form of sports equipment, either
Ooh.
football boots,
Mm,
a ball. I pretty much grew up playing sports all the
right.
time, and so that
Wow.
was I'd play everything and anything. So
Love that.
probably sports, probably football if we're getting
Yeah.
specific.
Okay. Okay. What is your dream superpower and why?
I feel like teleporting would probably be
Mm,
like right up there.
yeah.
I'd never given this much thought, and then like I was having a good conversation with a friend about this like a month ago, and I
Mm,
think we came up with teleportation would be the coolest one.
love that. Love that. All right. This last question may lead to something serious depending on how you take it. All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why? Anyone.
That I don't know. I'm pretty fortunate that I've had no one like
Mm,
that close to me die.
mm.
Like my parents are both alive, my brother's alive. Um, so I don't know who I'd bring back.
How
That's
about a
a
fictional character? A fictional character. Let's say it's those characters were real and you have the power to bring back one. Anyone. Who would it be and why?
I've never really been into like the really fictional like sci-fi movies. So
Right.
like like I haven't watched any of like your Star Wars or Marvel movies or anything like that. And so most of the movies I watch, not that many people were like dying in them. I guess a few on the gangster ones, but
What's your favorite
yeah,
gangster movie?
The Gentleman. That's probably a good one.
Ooh, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. Love that. Love that. Well, Josh, thank you. Thank you for, being silly in the game part, giving us a backstory of you as a brand, your journey, an overview of your story, and the expertise, knowledge bomb after knowledge bomb, the proper mindset. thank you for spending the time to be with us here on the show, Josh.
No worries. Thanks for having me, man.
Josh, I know you have a lot of projects in line, releases, social media accounts. Please promote. The floor is yours.
Yeah. So probably the main thing that I'm trying to get off the ground at the moment is actually my podcast, which is the Josh Ryan Show. So you can check that out on all platforms. Where I just sit down and chat with successful digital entrepreneurs and creators and find out how they did it. I guess somewhat similar to your show. And then aside from that, YouTube and Instagram is probably the two best places you can find me. Josh Ryan on YouTube. I post 2 videos a week, all about Instagram marketing, digital marketing, how you can build your audience. And then, yeah, on Instagram, I'm either Josh Ryan. If you want to see more of like my life, it's like Josh Ryan or Josh Ryan NZ. Or if you want like educational content, then Cleverpreneur. But just beware, there's a lot of people that impersonate me on Instagram. So, yeah, I'll get you to link them down below. Anything else is a scam. Don't fall for it.
Yes, we want to be with the authentic one.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
guys, always remember, please do connect with Josh. I'm sure he can help you in your journey towards success. Have a positive outlook in mind. Smile. God bless you all. Bye.